Leonardo da Vinci was more than just a painter. He was a scientist, an inventor, a musician, an anatomist. His notebooks are filled with sketches of flying machines, studies of human anatomy, and observations on the nature of light and shadow. This insatiable curiosity is the key to understanding his art. He saw the world not just as something to be beautifully rendered, but as a complex system to be understood. Every brushstroke was informed by mechanics, optics, and even geology. For Leonardo, art and science were two sides of the same coin. The Mona Lisa is the ultimate expression of this fusion. This painting was not a simple commission for him. It was a personal obsession. He carried it with him for years, Florence, Milan, and finally to France. He was constantly adding to it, refining it, experimenting with new techniques. Unlike other works for patrons, this one seemed to be for himself. It was a laboratory for his ambitious ideas. He wanted to capture not just a physical likeness, but the inner life of a person. The Mona Lisa became his lifelong companion. The subject is believed to be Lisa Gherardini, wife of Francesco del Giocondo, also known as La Gioconda. Yet her identity was debated for centuries. Was she a noblewoman, a courtesan, or even a self-portrait of Leonardo? The ambiguity is the first layer of the mystery. Today, the Mona Lisa resides in the Musée du Louvre in Paris. It is arguably the most famous painting in the world. It hangs in its own dedicated room, protected behind climate-controlled, bulletproof glass. Millions of people flock to see it each year. They push through crowds, holding up their phones to capture a quick image of the iconic face. The painting itself is surprisingly small, measuring just 77 by 53 centimeters. Yet its presence is immense. It commands the attention of the entire room, its subject's gaze seeming to follow each visitor as they move past. This is a testament to Leonardo's skill in creating a sense of connection between the subject and the viewer. The woman in the portrait looks out with a calm and self-possessed expression. Her hands are gently crossed, a pose that conveys serene composure. She is dressed in the simple, dark attire of a Florentine citizen of her time, with no lavish jewelry or ornate details to distract from her face. This was a deliberate choice by Leonardo. He wanted the focus to be entirely on her personality and inner world. The background is a fantastical, almost dreamlike landscape. Winding roads, jagged mountains, misty waters. Interestingly, the horizon lines on the left and right sides of the painting do not match up. A subtle trick that adds to the painting's dynamic and slightly unsettling quality. Her gaze is one of the most powerful elements of the work. The most famous mystery of the Mona Lisa is, without a doubt, her smile. Is she happy? Is she sad? Is she smirking with a secret amusement? The smile is famously elusive. It seems to appear and disappear depending on how you look at it. If you look directly at her mouth, the smile seems to fade. If you look at her eyes or other parts of her face, the smile becomes more apparent. This is not an accident. It is a brilliant trick of Leonardo's design. He understood that our peripheral vision is better at picking up shadows and subtle details, so he used a technique called sfumato, which means smoked or vanished in Italian, to blur the corners of the mouth and eyes. Leonardo achieved the sfumato effect by applying dozens of extremely thin layers of paint and glaze. These layers are often thinner than a human hair. This painstaking process allowed him to create incredibly subtle transitions between light and shadow. There are no harsh lines or contours in the Mona Lisa. Everything blends seamlessly, creating an atmosphere of soft, hazy light. The identity of the sitter, Lisa Gherardini, is now widely accepted by historians, but for centuries, it was a subject of intense speculation. Some theories proposed she was a duchess, a secret lover of Leonardo, or even Leonardo's own mother. One of the more outlandish theories suggested that the Mona Lisa is a clever self-portrait of Leonardo in disguise. The uncertainty itself has become part of the legend, allowing us to project our own stories onto the canvas. Modern science has given us new tools to look beneath the surface of the Mona Lisa. Using techniques like multispectral scanning and X-ray fluorescence, researchers can analyze the layers of paint without ever touching the canvas. In 2004, a French scientist named Pascal Cotte was granted unprecedented access to study the painting. His discoveries have been, honestly, just astonishing. He found that Leonardo originally painted Lisa with eyebrows and eyelashes, details that have since faded or been obscured by centuries of varnish. This finding challenges the long-held belief that their absence was a deliberate statement, or maybe a reflection of the fashion of the time. It actually shows that the painting we see today is not exactly the one Leonardo finished. Cotte's research also revealed Leonardo's meticulous and ever-changing process. By analyzing the layers, he uncovered earlier versions of the portrait hidden beneath the final one. The position of the hands was changed, and the smile was originally less pronounced. This just shows that Leonardo was constantly refining his vision, working and reworking the canvas to achieve the perfect balance of realism and mystery. He also discovered that Leonardo used a technique called spolvero, a method of transferring a drawing to the panel using charcoal dust, which is visible in the infrared scans. These invisible traces of his work give us a direct glimpse into the mind of the master at work, revealing his hesitations and his moments of inspiration. So why does the Mona Lisa continue to fascinate us more than 5 centuries after it was painted? Part of the answer lies in its inherent ambiguity. The painting does not provide clear answers, it asks questions. Who is she? What is she thinking? Her inscrutable expression invites us to become detectives, to search for clues in her eyes and smile. This active engagement is what makes the experience of viewing the Mona Lisa so personal and honestly so powerful. Each person can see something different in her, projecting their own feelings and interpretations onto the canvas. The painting acts as a mirror, reflecting the curiosity and imagination of the viewer. The Mona Lisa has also become a touchstone of popular culture. It has been endlessly reproduced, parodied, and reinterpreted in advertisements, movies, and other works of art. Marcel Duchamp drawing a mustache on a postcard of her appearance in the Da Vinci Code. She has become a universal symbol. This constant presence in our cultural landscape keeps her relevant and familiar, even to those who have never seen the original painting. Furthermore, the painting represents a pivotal moment in the history of art. It marks a shift from portraying subjects as static symbols to capturing them as complex psychological beings. Leonardo's desire to paint the motions of the mind was revolutionary. The Mona Lisa set a new standard for portraiture, influencing countless artists who came after him, from Raphael to Andy Warhol. Ultimately, the Mona Lisa endures because it embodies the timeless connection between art and the human spirit. It speaks to our deep-seated desire to understand one another and to capture the fleeting moments of life. Leonardo da Vinci did not just paint a portrait of a woman, he painted a portrait of humanity itself, with all its mystery, its subtle emotions, and its quiet dignity. The painting's true secret is not hidden in a code or a symbol. It is right there on the surface, in the gentle turn of a head, the soft light in the eyes, and the smile that continues to captivate the world. It is a silent conversation that has been going on for 500 years, and it shows no sign of ending.